It is just after 0600 hours Eastern Time, and the Kevs Railfanning crew is in McAdam, New Brunswick, between the station and NBSR's McAdam Yard office. Things are quiet here this morning, and NBSR's local/yard power is idling away, waiting to get their day started. The sun is just starting to brighten the sky as we look east over the lower yard towards the yard office. Our goal for today's adventure is to follow NBSR's 506 on its journey from McAdam to St. Stephen and the Milltown spur, and return. The main job for 506 today will be to interchange cars with 505. 505 works the old rail line from Calais, Maine to Baileyville to service the Woodland pulp mill. We'll get a chance to see 505 while we're there. 506 will also have some work to service customers in St. Stephen and in Milltown. Power for today will be NBSR 4304 and GMTX 2633. 4304 is one of the new GP31 ECO-M units. These 3,000 horsepower units have been rebuilt from frames and car bodies from older units. While we're not sure of the heritage of this unit, we do not think it is a former NBSR unit that went to Progress Rail in Kentucky for rebuilding. This is our first opportunity to chase one of these new units under their own power. These new units will replace lease units like the 2633 eventually. The way 506 is set up, it takes 2 crews to complete a day. The first crew will get things started in McAdam and do any work needed before getting their train together and heading south. And after about 8 hours on duty, we'll be relieved. The second crew will do the reverse of the morning crew and will return to McAdam doing some work as needed before calling it a day. Our friendly crew will soon be on the move, so we hope everyone will enjoy our first of 2 videos for this day. Here is NBSR 506, A Day with Friendly Crews, Part 1, Southbound. 506 a while ago had slipped out to the west end of the hill yard and has been sorting some cars, and are ready to head past the station with 10 loads of drywall for the Certainteed Drywall Distribution Warehouse. The site was an active drywall mill and production was stopped over 5 years ago. From the sound of things, the drywall does not stay in the warehouse very long before being shipped out by truck.
Yeah, you can start her back, 33, derails down, lined out onto the south line, good for 50. Down back, all lined out.
With the switches lined, here they come.
20.
While 506 is working the old mill, the Kevs Railfanning crew took some time to check on a few things and top the car up with fuel, which almost made us miss 506 returning, shoving 4 boxcars that we must have picked up at the south end. Looks like they will shove these cars under the short track that connects the south line to the main line. With these 4 boxcars dropped, power will pull down to clear the west switch at a pair of switches known as the twins. Once clear of the west twin, power will reverse to clear the east twin. With the east twin switch line, power will head up the fuel track to the main and then head for number 28 track to pick up any cars that were left there, making room for NBSR's 120 to pull into and tie down on. will leave 506 to catch 120 across the St. Croix River. While we are away, 506 will move the cars from number 28 track into the hill yard and then get their train ready to head south. When the Kevs Railfanning crew arrived back in McAdam, we headed for the south end of the Y, as the NBSR 506 and its friendly crew are almost ready to depart. Well, we did say almost. 506 is now waiting for our maintenance away crew to clear off the St. Stephen sub.
Maintainer Harris. Go ahead, Maintainer Harris. All set, Conductor Moffett. All set. Foreman NB Harris confirms no sub-foremans on this DOB. And it's okay for the NBSR. 43 knot 4. 43 knot 4 south. To proceed on the main track between the south SOUTH cautionary limit sign McAdam and north NORTH cautionary limit sign Milltown Junction. No restrictions. Over. Foreman MD Harris has no sub-foremans NBSR 43 knot 4 south SUTH may proceed on main track. From south SUTH cautionary limit sign McAdam to north NORTH cautionary limit sign Milltown Junction. No restrictions. Over. 955 repeated correctly. 955, not 955. Over. Thanks, Mike. Have a great night. 06, south end. Maintainer here.
Our friendly crew has left McAdam and have 22 loaded log racks, 4 empty boxcars, the ones from earlier this morning, and their shoving platform in tow. Next stop for the Kevs Railfanning crew will be in Watt. Watt, at mile 14.9 on the St. Stephen sub, is home to an old siding, now stub-ended, and was the junction with the former St. Andrews sub. With a 10-mile-per-hour speed limit from McAdam to around mile 21, we were able to take our time, do some exploring, but more importantly, we were able to have a bite to eat and make some very hot tea. Just across from us at the crossing, NBSR has a speed swing and an operator waiting to get back to work once 506 passes. Well, after a bit of a wait, here comes our friendly crew. .506 is blown for the NB 127 crossing, where more maintenance away workers are waiting for them to pass. We're now in Honeydale, where NB 755 crosses the tracks and where the junction with NB 750 is. Things will soon be getting faster, so off to the next spot we go. We're now at mile 23.37, where the tracks cross NB 755. NB 755 makes things nice as it will follow the St. Stephen sub the rest of the way to St. Stephen. Just have to watch for that turn at Moore's Mill. 506, relatively speaking, will be flying by at 25 miles per hour, though they will slow a bit for these non-signal crossings. Definitely moving faster now. Maxwell Crossing is just north of St. Stephen, and there's a nice covered bridge just to the east of us. 506 will be slow approaching the crossing, but once they're over it, they will start to pick up the pace again. Once in St. Stephen and clear NB 170, 506 will pause to pick up a tank car from Ganong. While the crew on 506 is getting the tank car from Ganongs, we have made our way across town to West Street, mile 1.62 Milltown Spur. There is no Y at this end of the railroad, so after leaving Ganongs, 506 will pull down to clear the switch for the Milltown Spur. With the conductor on the shoving platform, 506 will back west down the spur towards Milltown. And yes, the shoving platform has its own horn, and a nice one at that. That can be heard quite well as they make their way along the spur. Now 3.91 Milltown Spur is the Pleasant Street crossing, and where there is a siding that extends from the crossing to the Milltown border crossing.
Where's all your customer cars, boss? Oh, yeah, one on the head end and four on the rear. Okay.
The afternoon crew for 506 is also at the crossing, waiting to take over. 506 will set the shoving platform onto a cut of empty log racks with a bit of a bang that 505 with GMTX 2233 Old Rusty Nose has just placed into one track.
Might have to pull ahead back. Want to back up a little bit? Oh yeah, you gotta back up. Yeah, just back here, I'm also gonna pull the bit. And we'll slide into the side, you set a car over, jump you across, I guess. Oh, here's that.
505 will now pull its cars, the shoving platform, and the 4 boxcars clear of the crossing. This will then allow 506 to shove the loaded log racks or 505 into the other track.
You're gonna need 4 cars, you're probably gonna need that switch. Copy that. Okay, all on to the main 2233. Good, small and all. Okay. Another 2 guys. We're hitch or just back? Back for a cut. Come your way, boys. One turn title 4. One turn title 4. Title 4.
506 is just now to pull the tank car off the lock loads and place it with their other cars on the other track. that done, they will now take a moment to trade off. The morning crew heading back to McAdam shortly. While the guys are doing the crew change, this will be a great spot to end this video in our southbound journey. We hope you enjoyed NBSR 506, A Day with Friendly Crews, Part 1, Southbound. Please subscribe, comment, and hit that like button. Also, check out the post section of this channel for regular updates and for photos of this train and others. Thank you for watching. We will see everyone next with 506 getting things ready to head back northbound. Until then, the Kevs Railfanning crew is hoping everyone is healthy, safe, and having a wonderful day. Cheers!